So children, for today's topic for discussion is electric power. Electric power, and this power topic is important topic for your exams. Electric power. Now children, that in our normal language we generally use a word, this power, that this boy or girl looks very powerful, this athlete or this wrestler is very powerful. So power in normal life, how we define? By looking their body, their muscles, their strength, and whether he or she has won a gold medal in Olympics. So we say that the particular person is a powerful man or woman. But in electricity chapter, how to define how a battery, how a motor, electric motor, or means how the instruments they are powerful. So beginning from the definition children, that how power is different in electricity as we use words in our day-to-day life communication. Power is something about how quickly energy is transferred. Please listen. How energy is transferred. In our last class discussion, we had discussed about that we have a battery, and the role of battery is to charge to flow in an electric circuit. The role of battery is to make charge to flow. And then in terms of power, to know and to understand the meaning of power, it is how quickly energy is transferred. In your lower class you have studied that power is represented by the letter P, which is equal to rate of doing work, W by T. How much work is done in a given instant of time. Or P is equal to, I can replace this W, that E and W both are same. How much energy is transferred, how quickly, means how much energy is transferred in a given unit of time, that is called power. So power in terms of unit children, that energy is measured in joule, time is measured in second. So it means that the power has a unit of joule per second, and they have written 1 joule per second. How much energy is transferred in a circuit per unit time. And another unit of power, that is given by watt, and that we use capital W. Children, please note down it somewhere. Capital W is the unit for power. It is the SI unit, joule per second, as well as watt, both are same, and you have to remember both of them. Now children, let me move ahead. After finding that the definition, meaning of power, now we have different kind of equations related to the power. First equation you can see here on my screen, that is P equal to I into V. This P is equal to I into V. How it is P equal to I into V, children? They have written here this direct equation, that power is also equal to voltage multiplied by current. Now let me go back and let me tell you that we have, when we were talking about the EMF of a cell, that was given by E, not E. The battery, EMF of the battery is given by V is equal to energy transferred in carrying per unit charge. Remember this equation children. V is equal to E by Q, and you know this equation very well. And then as from the topic of power, from the definition, this is given by E by T, rate of doing work or energy transferred per unit time, and how quickly energy is transferred. So if you can find the value of E from the above equation, and then E can be replaced by, in power equation, V multiplied by Q, and this t in the denominator as it is. And further, if you can write this equation v multiplied by q by t. Recall the equation, children. What is q by t? Definition of current, time rate of flow of charge. Q by t is called the electric current. So you have this equation, P is equal to I into V. So please remember, children, I have derived this equation. How you can find out that P equal to VI? Otherwise you have to remember P is equal to IV or VI. Now the next. Oh. Now, children, that if P is equal to VI, you note down, please, every equation you have to note down. In exams, there will be some questions. Some questions, numericals will be there, and you have to write, you have to put, you have to use the right equation for as per the requirement of the question. P is equal to A by T, that we have already discussed this equation, children. P equal to A by T, and cross multiplied, then you can write E is equal to P multiplied by T. And finally, that you have to note down this equation, children. E is equal to IVT, energy is equal to IVT. How you can write? Because P, you know, in the first equation we derived P is equal to IV or VI. So that's why this equation, E energy equal to energy transferred, if you have to calculate when time is given, when voltage is given, when current is given, depending upon the situation, children. Suppose in what situation I can use this equation, E equal to PT. Suppose power is given, we have a machine, we have a battery, whatever, that the power is given, suppose 1 watt, and the time is given something in that statement, and suppose 1 second. Find the energy consumed, energy transfer. So power is given, time is given, then you have to use the equation E equal to PT. 1 watt into 1 second, that answer is equal to 1 joule. And now you have a situation that again the question is you have to find the E, energy transfer, but now this time current is given 1 ampere, voltage is given, suppose 1 volt, and time is given that the current is flowing in a circuit for a time period of 2 seconds. Let me take, find the how much energy is transferred. You have to use IV into T. So depending upon the situation, children, what informations are given, what value you have to calculate, accordingly you have to carefully apply or use these equations. So remember, children, that E equal to IVT, E equal to P into T, power is equal to V into I, P is equal to W by T, P is equal to E by T. So all these equations you have to remember, memorize. We have certain other equations in terms of power, children, and all these equations are also important, children, that especially those students who are looking for A star and also preparing for the competitive exams. And what are these equations, children? The equation number 1 you find here, P equal to IV. Yes, we already discussed. V equal to IR from the Ohm's law. We also aware about this equation. Therefore, this means we have another equation, P is equal to I square into R. How? Replace the value of V here. Let me write P equal to I into V. You can find here. Put the value of V from the Ohm's law. Ohm's law, this equation. V is equal to IR. So write I here multiplied by R. So I into I, that will be I square. So I square into R, you have this equation. So power is also equal to I square into R. Power consumed, power dissipated in an electric circuit when a current is flowing. So P is equal to I square into R. Now I want to tell you one more important information about this equation, children. P equal to I square R, and I have seen last years in previous papers, children, examiner asks questions. What type of questions? Suppose we have a conductor and its resistance is given, suppose 3 ohm, and current is flowing, and how much current, suppose I equal to, let me take 2 ampere, current is flowing. How much power is dissipated in that electric circuit? How much heat lost will take place, you can also say. So in that sense, P is equal to I square R. So let me find out this P. I square, I into I, that 2 into 2 4, and R is 3. So I will get here 12 volt. Now the second situation, I am taking the same resistance but I want to double the current. Now current is, suppose I2 is equal to 4 ampere. Now what happens with the power dissipation? P2 is equal to again I square. I square is, now it is I is 4, 4 square is 16, multiplied by the resistance. I have kept the resistance same, 16 3 is 18, 16 3 is 48, and 48 watt. 48 watt. Now see the difference. Now see the difference. By keeping the resistance same, and when current becomes double, power dissipation becomes 4 times. It becomes 4 times. So you can see here P2 is equal to 4 times of power by. So these are the question, children, that you have to practice for your exams. Let me move ahead, children, and then we have equation P equal to IV and I equal to V upon R, means finally that you have another equation. You note down, children, this another equation, and that is P is equal to voltage square divided by resistance. This equation you also have to remember. Even they have mentioned in cognitive, while this equation may be useful, and please note that they go beyond your IGCSE, but I will recommend you memorize these equations. There are certain questions that examiner asks on the basis of these equations. Now let me go. Please remember, note down it. P is also equal to V square upon R. Now let's do some questions, children. Then we will end our this meeting, and then you can revise for your test. Example number 1, children. Calculate the power dissipated in an electric heater of resistance is given. What is the supply? Sorry, when it is supplied with a voltage of 12 volt. Now you have to pay attention. What you have to calculate? You have to calculate power dissipated. How much power is waste, And so P, let me write this equation. Heater resistance is given, okay, R is given, and V is given. Voltage is given. So what equation I have to use here, children? That tell me, children. What equation? I couldn't hear. Please speak louder.
P equals to V square over R.
P equal to V square upon R. Yes, children, that you can use this equation. That the last equation was given on the last slide. Voltage square divided by R. Okay, maybe suppose if you are not getting this equation, you forgot this equation, is there any other way to do this question, children? P is equal to R is given, V is given. I know this equation, V into I. Is this, can I apply this equation here? Now someone will say, sir, current is not there, but I think we can calculate the current from the Ohm's law equation, children, as R is equal to V upon I. So I can write I equal to voltage divided by the resistance. And then what is the voltage? 12 volt. How much is the resistance? 2.2 kilo ohm. You have to convert kilo into ohm in SI system, multiplied by 10 to the power 3. You have to do some little bit calculation here, and then after finding I, you can put the value of I here, you can put the value of voltage that is given in the question, and if you compare answer in both the situation, you will get the same answer, children. You will get the same answer. Is this clear, children, this question? And if we have solved, and you can type your answer in chat box, and or even let me show you solution of this question. V equal to IR. Finally, I want to go to the answer, and 0.066 watt. Did you get the same answer, children?
Yes, sir.
Same answer.
Yes, sir.
0.066. Okay, there is another method they mentioned, method 2. And what is method 2? That the last step, please focus on the last step. That is the same, P equal to V square divided by R, and answer is again same, 0.065 watt. We will consider both are same, almost same. Now, example number two, children. In this example number two, okay, I received one answer here. Anushka said 0.065. Okay, yeah. Example number two, calculate the energy transferred. E, energy transferred. E, you have to calculate. In a bulb, in 5 seconds, time is given, current is given, and the voltage is given, children. Voltage is given. So think about, children, think about what equation you need to apply when time is given, current I is given, and the volt is given. Recall all the previous equation that you have not down in your notebook, children. You have to calculate E, and I know that one equation that which I recall, power multiplied by T. Now you will say, sir, power is not given, sir. You can replace the power is given by VIT. So in that term, voltage is 24, current is 5 by 10, I can write here, and the time is 5 second here. If you do calculation, 5 2s are 12, 1s are 12, 2s are 12, 5s are 60, and we are getting here energy, its unit should be in joule. And let me check answer, and students, you also please match your answer, but you get the same answer, 60 joule. Yeah, Ashanya answer is correct. Meher said that IVT, very good. Now, children, that your marks, A and A star, there is a very small difference. A student's getting 90, A, more than 90, A star. And so you have to be very careful to get A star, A or B or C. It depends on your IQ, and it depends on your memorizing power also, children. So equations you have to remember, steps you don't remember, you equation you have to, means right equation you have to apply, otherwise you can't get the right answer. Suppose, children, if someone might think that, sir, what about if some students say, sir, if can I apply that, as we have to calculate energy transfer, so we have one equation in terms of energy, and what is that equation, children? From the EMF equation, children, we have the equation. Sidong, may I know the equation from the EMF? When you have to calculate the EMF of a battery, what equation you have? V is equal to E by Q. That equation you have to remember, children. If you are fast in recalling the equations, you will be able to complete your question paper before time, and you will get the maximum marks also. So V is equal to E by Q. E is equal to V into Q. Can I use this equation, or is it a good idea to use this equation? Voltage, okay, I agree that the voltage is given. What about the Q? Charge. Yeah, I think now if you use this equation, but I know I is equal to Q by T, and that's the same term here, children, that Q is equal to I multiplied by T. Then finally again, if you put Q equal to I into T, then again you have the same equation, IVT. So you have to be very careful whether you are want to do a shortcut method, if you have a direct equation, or you want to find, first you find the value of Q, then you will put the value of Q in that equation, then you will find the answer. So it depends. And sometimes equations, suppose current is not given, so you can't find value of Q. So I hope that you are able to understand what I'm trying to say you, that you have to be very careful in what situation you have to apply what equation. For tomorrow's test,
Yes, sir.
I asked about that type of questions, both type of questions, MCQs as well as long questions. 10 MCQs questions are there and 2 subjective questions. Let me complete this one. There are 4 questions, children. I think that
Sir, so it won't be IGCSE.
IGCSE questions.
Oh, not. Oh,
Mhm.
sir, because you said board. You said only it's IGCSE, right?
What-
From the past year papers.
For the test, children, that you have to practice everything. Questions can come from everywhere.
Okay.
Okay, these 4 questions, children, this is your homework. Whenever you find time to, you try to complete this work, and I want to give you